Stillness is the quality of calmness. It's what deepens insights, sparks relationships, inspires visions, and leaves room for kindness and compassion. It's what allows us to persist in challenging times, to not just exist, but thrive. After reading Ryan Holiday's Stillness is the Key, it is clear to me that there are three key domains for stillness. They are the mind, the body, and the spirit. To master the mind, it is important to become present. We live in a distracted world. While technology has made the world a more interconnected place, we are constantly overwhelmed with thoughts. Thoughts about yesterday, thoughts about this morning, thoughts about tomorrow, thoughts about the day after, you name it, thoughts about thoughts. We regularly drown ourselves in mindless consumption, whether it be Facebook emails or Netflix, the endless gossip that fills our phones. We relish in it without thinking twice. What we fail to do is to be present, to enjoy each moment as it comes and goes, through and through. Think of it this way: to love or to be loved is only ever real if it's happening right now. That hug or kiss we experience is so meaningful in the present moment that we are so immersed in it. We forget about everything else, all our troubles and anguish, all the things we hope to do and hope not to do. One of the best ways to become present is to meditate. Just take a moment each day for a few minutes in the morning or evening of your choosing to sit back and concentrate on your breath. I find that for me, every time I inhale and exhale, there's frequently a few seconds in between where my mind wanders. It is in those moments that bringing your attention back to your breath is so important. Being present isn't about robotically engineering your thoughts so that you only think certain things. It's about focusing with the mind you already have, in light of all your strengths and flaws, in light of all your insecurities, doubts, and frustrations. Realizing that you're only human, and it's okay to make mistakes, to be vulnerable. This is stillness. Holiday writes, "Remember, there's no greatness in the future, or clarity, or insight, or happiness, or peace. There is only this moment. The less energy we waste regretting the past or worrying about the future, the more energy we will have for what's in front of us." A key dimension of the spirit that stood out at me as I was reading this book was realizing that at the end of the day, with enough said and done, you are enough. Now, while I'm a big proponent in the importance of setting goals and processes for achieving those goals, it is important to never obsess over it. After all, your goals, your successes, your failures don't necessarily define who you are. As we get caught up in our own accomplishments, we consistently begin to desire more, especially more of the things that we do not have. Sooner or later, more turns into never enough, triggering a downward spiral of relentless feelings of inadequacy. Holiday says, "You will never feel okay by way of external accomplishments. Enough comes from the inside. It comes from stepping off the train, from seeing what you already have, what you've always had." Lately, I've been taking some time out of my day to write down 10 things that I am grateful for. As I write them down, I soon begin to realize that there are so many things that other people will only dream of having access to. Like access to clean drinking water, the ability to drive a car, a loving family, food readily available in a refrigerator. Oftentimes, it is the things that we take for granted that add the most value to our lives. We just fail to recognize it. By taking a step back to appreciate the things that we do have, we begin to redress some of the insecurities that we feel. This is stillness. Another dimension of the spirit is the concept of healing the inner child. It is widely mentioned that moments and experiences from our childhood strongly influence how we act and behave as adults. Maybe somebody wronged you in the past, or maybe you did wrong to someone you didn't like. Regardless, these experiences tend to shape our personality and our sense of self for the years to come. Healing your inner child requires exercising self-compassion in your life. This serves as a powerful antidote for true healing, and not just a band-aid over an open wound. The best way to develop self-compassion is by practicing mindfulness. Divert your concentration for a few minutes to think about the pain that you carry from childhood experiences. As unbearing and difficult as this may seem, you begin to see your inner child more clearly, begging for your love and care. It is in this very moment that you can reach out and say, as Holiday writes, "Hey buddy, it's okay. I know you're hurt, but I'm going to take care of you." In doing so, the mature adult steps in to uplift and reassure the wounded self. Now, I know that ridding ourselves of the hurt that we carry around with us is easier said than done, but Holiday provides 4 means for helping us trying to do this. He says, give more, give what you didn't get, love more, drop the old story, try it if you can. One of the best ways to move the body is to cultivate a daily routine. While people adopt different routines in accordance with their circumstances, it is important to realize the power of routine in achieving stillness. As we schedule our day, it is important to dedicate enough time to execute on the things of most value to us. This could be studying for that graduation exam, training for that sporting competition, playing the violin, painting that portrait. Whatever it may be, leaving a specific block of time for that task, making it a priority, and then working around it with other tasks is essential towards maximizing our productivity. As you begin to habituate on your routine, you leave ample mental energy for deep thinking on the complex problems of importance to you. Holiday writes, "The more of the details of our daily life we can hand over to the effortless custody of automatism, the more our higher powers of mind will be set free for their own proper work. In doing so, we buy room for stillness and thus make good work and good thoughts accessible and inevitable." So those were the 3 key concepts that I gathered from Ryan Holiday's Stillness is the Key. I highly recommend this book for anyone who is interested in finding some sense of tranquility in our distracted world. Despite the idea of stillness being relatively ancient and archaic, it is still highly relevant now more than ever, given the advent of today's information age. Holiday also delves into the power of journaling, taking long walks, and choosing a virtue, amongst other topics. I hope you found this informative and in some way applicable to your own life. What are your thoughts on stillness? Feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video.